Okay, so we've used a little bit of like the spray-in carb cleaner on this, and what I'm going to do is I've noticed that the jet, let me see if I can get this on camera. Let's get this punch through here. Okay, so I've got a punch through the hole right now, like this. And right on the edge in there, right on the very edge where the jet comes through the hole, it's actually deformed into the threads. So what we're going to try and do is we're just going to try and tap that part of the jet back down in, because if it stays where it's at, it's guaranteed to give us trouble trying to get it out. And that's partially because it's been machined off. Like, this jet is in really poor shape. And the sad part is that that's actually quite typical for older carburetors where people have been at them. Because the jet gets tight in there, and then people try and get them out without cleaning anything, and they're really stuck. And everybody will tend, in general, to pull the jet out, and oftentimes you actually can get a better result by going in a little bit first. So we're going to try this again with our very biggest screwdriver here. And what I'm going to try to do is just get it to break by tightening it first. And apparently, that's a real disappointment. Stand by. All right, so we're back here. Let's see what we can do. Check.
Yes, sir.
What I want you to do, I want to tighten it a little bit first. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to take this wrench, I want you to push down on the wrench. Gently. Keep going. Okay, stop. All right. Now, what I want you to do is pull up on the wrench once I get the screwdriver set, okay? Yeah, push down there. Stop. Boy, that is really in there. So what we're going to do now, I think, we're not going to do any more in here like this. I think that's just going to make everything worse if we do. I'm starting to lose parts of the jet. It is super gummed up in here. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to run a soak cycle for it, and we'll see if we can get the jet out when we get it out of there. Might be a lot easier to pull out when some of this gum has been dissolved out of some of the areas. I don't have a lot of hope that it's going to be any easier to get out once we get it apart, but we'll give it a try that way. It's pretty freaking awful, for sure.
Hey, Dad, how long does it have to be sitting in there?
Well, we're probably going to let this sit for a while, if I'm being honest. And we might paint it separately from the other stuff, because it's pretty bad. It doesn't have to go on the tractor for when we ship it to Grandad. We could bring this up the next trip if we have to, until we get it right. I'm not going to bring Grandad faulty parts, and he's not ready for it to be running yet anyway. Okay? So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and get the rest of this apart. This should just kind of drop out of there.
Should, but Dad, it's been resting for quite a while, so I don't think it is gonna drop out.
I want to find something about the right size. That's about the right size. Good. So we'll just do this like that. Just pops out of there. Okay. That's the Venturi.
Yeesh, still looks bad.
Yeah, well, it'll look better once it's all cleaned up. And then the last thing we need to pop out of there
is the float.
Yeah. Where are the needle nose pliers?
I have. Oh, here it is.
So what I want you to do at this point, Jack, is I want you to take a lot of the little small pieces that we pulled off of there, all of the screws and everything, and I want you to go through and set them in this side of the bowl.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just drop all the parts in there.
Tiny parts?
Yep. There we go. We'll just drop that in and clean it anyway. And then
Done.
we'll get our biggest screwdriver and get the float seat out. Oh. Wait, let me get it in the right place. Okay, now go ahead and put the wrench on there. We want to undo, okay?
So which way?
Counterclockwise. Counterclockwise. All right, thank you, Julie. And it cammed up out of there. Give me a second. Stand by. It's an impact driver.
Hey, Dad, what's an impact driver? Oh.
You know what we're going to do? We're just going to use this on the
What's
impact.
an impact driver?
Well, you're supposed to use a hammer on it, but it's pretty brutal.
Oh, this brutal? I have never
Yeah, so we're just going to use our new impact wrench.
That's not new.
It is new. Put that away.
Ow!
Pick that up and put that away.
That hurt!
Uh-huh.
Hey, this is the thing that we broke off. Bump, bump.
Golly. Might make a bigger mess of it, to be honest. Well, it came out. Good deal. That's what we wanted to see. Perfect. We have a replacement one of these in the new kit that we bought, so it works out great. All right, Jack. I think we're about ready
to dunk it.
Yeah, I think we are. I think
Slam dunk.
You're gonna want to go ahead and get all of this gasket off.
Okay.
So carefully work through it with this, and don't cut yourself.
Do I have to be careful?
Yeah, because you don't want to cut yourself. Okay, good.
But I've never cut myself
we have this,
before.
And this, and we have the shafts that we're gonna clean. We have the venturi, and we have the float, which I want to open up. There we go. So we'll just open the valve so the stuff can get everywhere on the float. That's perfect. Good. We can put our tools away here and get set up for the dunking operation.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to pinch this like this, and we're just going to drop this all the way down into the bottom, just like that. And then we're going to drop the top piece in on the side, and then we're just going to kind of drop the float in, and then put the little cap back on top of it, or we're going to try anyway. Might not like that very much. That's okay. There we go. So now everything is soaking in there.
What about
and you can put the lid back on. Oh, what about them? Well, we'll put those in the bucket where they go. Perfect, right? Is that everything? I feel like we're missing one control arm. Not that one. The other one. Did it fall apart onto the floor? Jack, did you drop any pieces? Can you look around?
I don't think so.
No, because there's supposed to be a control collar on the other side of that shaft that we pulled out.
Oh, that's in the thing.
What thing?
What you're saying, the one that I punched out?
Oh, you put the shaft, you put it back on the shaft loosely?
No. Are you saying the one that I hammered out, the orange one?
Yeah.
I think I put it inside the crank.
Oh, okay, then that's fine. Good. In that case, we're done. Go ahead and just tap that down loosely. Perfect. We're gonna call that done for now, and we'll let that soak. Okay. All right, so we're back here. Everything's all cleaned off, and we are ready to start the reassembly for this. And it's pretty straightforward for the most part. All it involves doing is making sure the components are all cleaned and putting them back where they go. So, not a lot of importance to it. Now we have our carb kit here, economy carburetor kit, which means it doesn't have any of the jets, which means it was like 10 bucks instead of 50, which is fine. We were able to salvage and restore most of the jets. The biggest problem that we had is that the main jet has been mangled by multiple people before, and it's probably not got a lot of life left in it. The jet part is just fine, but getting it in and out is a real pain. I went through and touched it with a file. We're probably down to, I don't know, 50% of what you really should have, maybe less for the screw, but this should be good enough. And I don't expect to really have to pull it apart kind of ever again at this point. So we'll start by pulling our stuff apart here and getting our instructions out. This kit did come with instructions. Let's just kind of set this on here.
Wrong way. There we go.
And that does in fact appear to be the correct gasket. Does it?
Yeah, it's the correct one.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and say yes.
I'm pretty sure that other hole, this hole right here, is for another tractor.
So there's a whole bunch of instructions here with the kit.
Most of it we already know.
Got a disassembly guide, an assembly guide. And what we want to make sure is that we're putting everything back together. Yeah, it should be good.
Hi, I'm hungry.
Hi, Hungry, I'm Dad.
I'm hungry.
Hello, Hungry, I'm Dad.
What can I eat?
You can eat food.
What kind of food?
The good kind.
What kind of good kind?
You can have a little bit of pepperoni in the fridge if you like, and there's some salami in there too, you know.
Ooh!
Okay. Not you, we're working. Why does that look weird? That's better. Okay, so this is our Venturi, and it goes in just like that. All right, and then the next thing I want to install is going to be our float. So that's this kit. That's always important so that fuel doesn't pour out everywhere.
Hey, Dad.
Yes,
What's the carburetor for again?
The carburetor regulates the fuel and creates the correct fuel-air mixture for combustion. Now, why don't you go ahead and take the gasket, assemble it onto the seat. I'll get the spring for the float set up.
That's the float?
No, this is the needle.
Done.
Okay, screw it in there. The screwdriver is too small, so why don't you go get the biggest one we have, which is right here. No, don't do that. Look, watch. When I'm putting something in, see the screwdriver's not quite big enough, I gotta make sure that I'm half on each side, okay? There you go. That screwdriver
It's too thick.
It is too thick, actually.
That screwdriver is too small.
It is too small, actually. Let me see this one.
I'm gonna go grab a file.
No, don't do that. We're not gonna do that. There we go. So we'll put it down so that we can put some pressure on it. There.
That looks tight.
That's in, and it shouldn't leak. And that's what we really want, is not leaking. Okay.
The last tractor.
Get the float.
The float?
Yeah, where's the float?
I don't have the foggy. Oh, there it is.
Okay. So this goes in there like that, and the way that we set this up, this little spring clip hooks around the base of the needle, and then it hooks around the base of our float like that. Okay, and once that's in there, go ahead, drop our float needle in, just like that. That's perfect. Okay, does it tell us what the float height is?
Float level adjustment.
Doesn't tell us. Let's see here.
Should I go get the manual?
Yep, get the manual. Let's figure out what the float height needs to be. It should tell us what it is.
Because this is the Allis Chalmers guide to everything about Allis Chalmers. No, sorry. This is the Allis Chalmers shop manual.
Yeah, well, let's see what it says. Should have a section on carburetors in here.
And if it doesn't?
There we go. Carburetor 1 in 532. 1 in 532. Okay.
1
Let's get my
and
little
532.
measuring device.
That one's my one.
So it said 1 in 532s. So 532s, a little bit more than 2/16. So put it right there. And then we're just going to check the float height. So
Too
that
high.
does not seem right at all. Let's go look back at that. What is this carburetor? Does it have a placard on it somewhere? It does not.
I saw 8.
Yeah, I don't even know what carb that is, to be honest with you. It is a Zenith for sure. All right, so we're going to take this screw and we're going to put it down in here where it goes. All right, you can do it.
Where's mine?
What are you guys doing?
Where's my Sprite?
I don't know. Probably Jack drank it like a dirty thief. Or is that your Sprite on the desk?
No, it isn't.
How do you know?
It was right here. I left it there. And
Jack probably drank it.
Jack,
What do you mean?
you drank my Sprite.
The only Sprite I drank was mine.
Jack, you're undoing the jet instead of doing it in. Be careful with it. Be delicate with it. You don't want to damage it. You just screw it in, and then you make it tight. Okay.
I just have to place one because of you.
The only Sprite I drank was mine.
No,
There.
because of Jack.
All right, let me check that.
And now there's one more left. And Jack, you aren't gonna drink that.
I'm gonna go drink it.
Okay, so that basically completes the assembly of the top half, and we can go ahead and did we need to do that? Probably did. Oh, no, that's backwards. There we go. So good, that's done. Should be good like that. Now we can move over to the bottom half. Now here we have a couple of jets that we need to install. Okay, so let's take this one, and this one goes down in there. All right. Do you want a bigger screwdriver? Slightly bigger?
Slightly bigger. Yeah, tiny, itty bitty.
Here, try this. That'll fit. Use this one. Use the correct screwdriver for the application. We're using our gunsmith screwdrivers here because every one of them is hollow ground with a nice square tip and minimize the risk of damaging the jets.
Why do
You
you?
can probably start it with your fingers, Jack, so you don't have to fuss with it so much with the screwdriver. See? Now you can use the screwdriver.
Hey Dad, why do you even have gunsmith screwdrivers?
Because they're very high quality, they're American made, and they're hollow ground so you don't damage screws. And I have a couple of different sets of them, specifically so I can work on stuff and not mangle it.
I think you have gunsmith screwdrivers because you have a lot of gun doing stuff.
Yeah, well, I do that too. Okay, so good, that's all done. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to install this jet.
The main one?
Yeah, so that's going to use the big screwdriver, and it's going to go all the way down in there.
The main one, which we
Okay.
had to fuss
Now,
around
I want
with.
you to just bring that one up, and then I'll tighten it because it's pretty heavily damaged, okay? Stop. There's supposed to be a gasket under there. Pull it back out. As a matter of fact, we should check the other jet. Now, the other jet doesn't get a gasket, but this one and the long tubular jet do get a gasket, okay? You have to be cognizant of what we need for gaskets with this. Okay, so pop that out of there.
It just popped out of there.
Okay. Let's go ahead and drop this out of here. We'll get all of that out. Okay, and then let me look at
Dad, there's still a gasket.
There. And let me look and see at this, take a look at this again. Yeah, the little jet we put in at the top does not get a gasket. The other jet that we put in doesn't get a gasket. So find one that fits that jet. That jet does get a gasket. No, this one is likely. Try that one. Does that look right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's good. That should be more than enough. Excellent. Good. Now, the next part that we want to put on is this, and this should get a gasket. So find a gasket that fits that. That looks right. So put that in there.
Which one?
That goes in over top of the jet, yeah, just like that.
Adjustable wrench.
Okay. Now, make sure that it's right. There we go. That shouldn't leak. All right. Next up, we want to install the stop. Okay.
Does it get a gasket?
No, it does not. That's a pipe thread, but that's
Where
a
does
good
it go?
point. Wait a moment. We're going to use a little bit of Teflon tape on that, so I don't want pipe dope in the fuel system. So give me this. Okay, so we're going to take the Teflon tape, and then what I want to do here, this is just to help it seal and not pour gas everywhere. So what I actually want to do is I want to take the tape and I want to fold it in about half. And we'll just use less wraps. But I don't want it everywhere, sort of thing, because I don't have a lot of thread. It's quite a small thread. Okay? See that? And then we'll just pop it off like that. Good. We're done with
Which
the
hole
pipe.
does it go in?
Goes in this hole right here. So get your wrench. That's probably too big, Jack. Find a smaller adjustable. Where's the little one?
over there.